We tend to think that our best moments in life are the ones that define us. But the truth is, the moments that shape us the most are the ones where we all fall apart. It's the moments where we feel broken and fractured. It's the moments where we stop and think, why did this happen to me? And we've all had these moments. Moments that we didn't want, moments that were unexpected, moments that we couldn't understand. Maybe it was a divorce, a loss of a loved one. Maybe you lost your home. Maybe you lost a pet. Maybe you lost a child. Whatever the loss, whatever the pain, it was a moment that you couldn't get back, and it changed your life forever. You felt beaten down by life, and it made you wonder, why me? But what if in those moments are not meant to break us, but meant to break us open and to help us build us into who we're meant to become? Let me tell you my story. On February 18th, 2024, I was home and it was an average day in the Adirondacks in New York. It was about 30 degrees. I woke up, let my dog out, had some coffee, was on my laptop checking emails. I was prepping my Airbnb downstairs. Guests were checking in. I remembered that I forgot I was going to put these fresh green plants in the apartment for them. I left them in my car overnight. So of course they went into shock and they died. Well, I decided I would go to the store and replace them. I did, and as I was walking out the door, usually Tucker would come and he would tell me if he wanted to go or not, just by greeting me at the door. Well, he didn't that day, and I didn't think much of it. So I left. I went to the store, I did what I had to do. Then I stopped and I went to go grab a bite to eat. And I remember I pulled out my phone for the first time. It was 12:57, and I got a text from my neighbor, and it said, "Delina, it's Suzanne from across the street. The fire department is here and you have an active fire going on." What? No. What are you talking about? I called her immediately. "Suzanne, what are you talking about? It's Delina. What do you mean I have a fire?" She said, "Oh, I'm so glad you're not home. Oh, I'm so glad to hear your voice." And I said, "No, Tucker's home. He's inside." And that would be the day that changed my life forever. I lost everything that day. I lost my home. I lost my beloved Tucker. I lost my identity. Tucker was my best friend. He was the love of my life. I don't have any kids. He was my world. I loved my home. It gave me a sense of stability. It was my sacred space. It was my safe space. I was homeless and I was heartbroken. Who am I without Tucker? Who am I without my home? I felt powerless and I was suffering. Now, the reason why I tell you this story is because suffering is a choice. If we choose to focus on the past and what's missing and what is lost in our life, then we will suffer. Again, suffering is a choice. Suffering happens when you focus on the past, on what's missing and what's lost. If you decide to choose on the present moment, what's currently in your life, all the blessings in your life, and how you can grow from your painful moment, then you can experience something different. Now you might ask me, well, how did I get out of suffering? What did I choose to focus on? I chose to focus on grace because I had not seen and I had forgotten that there was a lot of grace going on in the midst of that turmoil. There was a lot of grace in the fact that those flames, they stopped in front of my front door where I had a statue of the Virgin Mary. And beyond that door was my bedroom door. And who was in my bedroom? Tucker, sleeping comfortably on his bed in his normal sleeping position. He died of smoke inhalation, not of flames. He wasn't in pain. He went to sleep. He doesn't even know what happened. I found grace in that. I found grace in the fact that all of my legal documents that I would need to file an insurance claim, all of my tax documents from my business, they didn't burn. I found grace in that. It was a miracle. They were actually in the room where the fire started. I found grace in the fact that the renters, they happened to go take a walk, that family of 4. They weren't home. I found grace in that. I found grace in the fact that my family and my friends stepped to help me. They gave me shelter. They helped me through my loss and my difficult time. They started a GoFundMe page so that I didn't have to work for the next month and I could focus on my healing. I found grace in that. I found grace. I gave myself grace because I gave myself permission to heal. So I used grace. Now, I know this might be difficult for you, that I might be rubbing against what's uncomfortable for you, but I'm going to ask you now to be honest with yourself. What from the past have you been holding on to that is causing you suffering? What are you choosing not to let go of? Could you let it go? If it was possible, would you? You see, because if it was possible for me, isn't it also possible for you? I asked God to show me who I was meant to become for this. We need to use our painful moments and to use them to help us grow. Because it's not how hard we get hit, it's how hard we can take the punch and get back up and fight. Fight for what you believe in. Fight for what you want. Fight for who you are at your core. Use that pain to strengthen your love. Use the pain to strengthen your courage. Use the pain to strengthen the core essence of who you are. The truth is that sunrise and sunsets are coming either way. But how you choose to live that day is up to you. What you choose to focus on is what you're going to feel. Take 100% responsibility for how you want to feel. Choose courage, choose love, choose determination, choose motivation, choose strength. Choose to get back up and choose you. Choose you. God bless.